Do you want to make a bright, summery, refreshing potion that lifts spirits and brings joy? Today, I'm going to show you how to make my Sunshine Mule recipe with both cocktail and non-alcoholic versions with solar-aligned ingredients. This is the perfect sip to stir up some inner sunshine. This is a honey orange mule recipe that is sure to bring a smile. I am Julia Helena Hattis. I am the author of Witchcraft Cocktails, as well as 3 other books. This is a recreation of the very first recipe I posted in 2017. Now we're going to talk about the meaning, how you can easily make the recipe with a little touch of magic. And if you are a free member of my Patreon, we're going to follow that with a little magical mist, reflection, and visualization to help spark that inner sunshine. So if you are craving intentionality, magic, mindfulness, all wrapped up with a little bit of manifestation, I hope you will come and sip with me for a spell.
In this video, we're going to be talking about mixing drinks with intention and the magical and folkloric beliefs of ingredients for informational purposes only. Always seek the advice of a licensed medical professional and drink mindfully.
You're gonna need limes, honey, ginger beer ice. For the cocktail version, vodka. I'm also going to show you how to infuse your own lime vodka really easily if you want to, for an additional step of magic, as well as orange liqueur of some kind. For the non-alcoholic version, we are going to substitute the orange liqueur either with fresh orange peel, non-alcoholic orange bitters, or Lyre's orange sec. Optional additions for both include fresh orange juice and also orange blossom, also called orange flower water. If you want the printable ingredient shopping list and recipe cards, those are over in the Patreon link for free. Now this recipe has some small twists and changes from your classic average Moscow Mule recipe, but also I wanted to show you how you can easily mix magic and alchemy into your drink recipes. Now I originally made this recipe back in 2017 when I worked for a vodka company. They had a Macroot lime vodka, and I originally used that in the Moscow Mule recipe. Now I am since moved away from California, no longer have access to that vodka, and I also wanted to make a non-alcoholic mocktail version, so we had to improvise a little bit to create some of that original flavor and inspiration and magic. So we are using vodka. You can use classic vodka if you'd like, but for an added magical addition, you can actually infuse your vodka with the peels of the lime that you're gonna juice anyway. Now don't be alarmed by this step. Really, it's just the peel of 1 lime infused in about 3 to 3.5 ounces of vodka for 1 to 2 hours. So really, you just need to do a little bit of prep work in advance. When you're peeling the lime, you wanna make sure that you're peeling it very loosely, like not trying to get too deep into the lime. In the peel of all citruses, there's these really gorgeous oils, and that's basically what we want to infuse our vodka with. Now the reason why I love this is because it adds a little extra magical addition. You can actually engrave the peels. Use a toothpick or cocktail skewer, whatever you have on hand, to engrave a little sign or symbol into the peels. So if there's some kind of spell that you're working in conjunction with that, so you have like maybe a sigil that you've made or just a general symbol that you're working with, you can actually engrave that into the peel of the limes and infuse that in the vodka. So it's just another little magical layer that I really love. Limes are generally thought of to be cleansing. Most citrus are. But lime has another component. Sometimes people will consider it really good for like hex breaking or moving through blockages to help bring the way for healing and love. Lime is associated with sun, so we're adding it because it's that solar element, but also to help remove any stagnation or whatever is getting in the way of our inner sunshine. With that, let's go ahead and get into the recipe. Now, every ingredient has so many different magical intentions behind it. Really, I'm just gonna be covering why I'm putting in this recipe. First thing you're gonna do, grab your lime in your mule cup. You can go ahead and use that lime that maybe you peeled earlier. Now we are gonna add 3/4 to a full ounce of lime. I always say add less and you can add more later. Now we are adding lime because I think I mentioned already in the infusion, but it's associated with sun. So it adds some of that solar energy, and mainly to help kind of clear the way, cleanse away any blockages that are getting in the way of our inner sunshine. Now, when you are using fresh citrus, you can really use that opportunity of squeezing to just squeeze out anything that's kind of in the way of your sunshine or inner happiness. You can strain it as you add it into your drink recipe. However, in this case, I'm not sweating it today. Now, the next ingredient we're gonna work with is honey. Now, when we mix honey into our recipes, it's really thick, right? And in cold recipes, it's just not gonna mix well. So what we do in mixology is we mix it with an equal amount of hot water. Now, don't overthink it. You just measure out a portion of hot water and mix it with an equal amount of honey. I reused one of my ginger beer bottles here. We're using honey because it is also associated with the sun. Honey is also known for healing, happiness, community energy. When you think of bees working together, well-being, really has that quality to bring harmony and attract. That's what it's used in magic for. So in that recipe, it's really used for that soothing solar energy. Now we are gonna add 3/4 ounce, so 3/4. Now our next ingredient is the orange liqueur. So if you have Cointreau, Grand Marnier, or like me, you're just using bottom shelf triple sec, it doesn't matter, it's okay. Whatever you've got, really orange helps add in, again, that same solar energy. You can think of, we usually start the day maybe with orange juice, right, to help brighten and awaken and bring that radiance. Citruses like orange specifically are really associated with like good luck and blessing. So it's really in this recipe to help bring that solar energy, some of that inspiration and creativity to help lift us up. You are gonna add a 1/2 ounce. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to add our lime peel infused vodka. I have pre-infused it, so I have that handy right here. We're gonna add 1.5 ounces. And then we're gonna add ice. You have some optional additions. I'm gonna do it all because I want to. You don't have to. I'm gonna go ahead and add bitters. I like to use all the bitter because they are non-alcoholic, so I can use them in both my cocktail and my non-alcoholic mocktail recipes. So option, you can add 4 dashes. And then another option, you can add 1/4 to 1/2 ounce of fresh orange juice. Give it a little stir. And then we're gonna top it off with 2 to 3 ounces of ginger beer. Ginger helps add some of that success-oriented energy. It's kind of activating, right? It gets energy moving, helps add that power and vitality. Oh God, I want to taste it before I even garnish it. That is so refreshing. And so for garnish, what do I want to do here? Maybe we'll add an orange wheel, and then I'm going to add a little bit of dried edible flowers. So this is calendula, which is really great for kind of bringing like good luck and positive vibes. If you wanted to opt for the orange blossom water, a little mist on top, it creates this really cool dynamic between the dried ingredients and a little bit of that flower water. Oh, so good. Let me go ahead and show that to you. So good. I firmly believe that non-alcoholic versions can be just as magical and just as delicious. So this non-alcoholic version is just as potent, just as fizzy, refreshing, brightening, and delicious. So let us get into it. For the mocktail version, we're gonna start with a little bit of lime. Peel, because we are not infusing lime peels to vodka. Lime is associated with the sun. If you missed that in the early bit, it's really good for helping to kind of remove and cleanse blockages, or some people call it good for unhexing or hex breaking. It really helps to like detox and remove energy blockages so that we can help invite healing and loving energy. We are going to start by adding 2 to 3 peels of lime. The beautiful thing about using peels, and this goes for any peel, is you can actually draw a symbol and sigil on it. We talked about in the cocktail version. So I'm just going to draw a sun for fun here. You just use like a little cocktail pick or toothpick. And if there's a magical symbol that you're working with, or intention or word, If you have a good sized peel, you can totally draw some little symbols on them. You're gonna squeeze them just to get those oils out and drop it in. Now, we are obviously not using orange liqueur in the mocktail version, so there's a couple of ways around that. You can either work with the orange peel itself to get those oils, or you can work with 4 drops of non-alcoholic orange bitters. I'm gonna do both. So you're just gonna want like 2 to 3 peels there, and same thing. You wanna draw a little symbol on it and draw a happy face. Pop that in there. Now, because I do have non-alcoholic orange bitters, I'm also going to add those, but you can do either or. Then we are going to go ahead and add an ounce of honey syrup. Now, honey syrup, don't be alarmed by that if you missed the first cocktail part. Honey syrup is equal parts hot water to honey measured separately, mixed together. I usually just turn on my tea kettle, but however you get hot water, if you microwave it, if you have any fancy devices, don't sweat it. It's really just honey is thick, and when it comes to cold drink recipes, it's not gonna mix properly. So we really need to mix it with an equal amount of hot water. Now we are adding honey for some of that attracting, soothing, healing energy of the sun that's associated with community, happiness, health, all those good vibes. We're gonna add an ounce. Now, one thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna make sure that you muddle the peel into the syrup. This really helps integrate the flavors. To muddle, you just press down and twist. Now you can take that lime that you already peeled and we're gonna add 1.5 ounces of lime. As you're squeezing, you can really think of like just squeezing away any blockages to your happiness right now. Now, if you're goody two-shoes, you can strain out the pulp before you add it to the recipe. Liars has a really great non-alcoholic orange sec. I love it. You can add 3/4 an ounce of that. You can even add fresh orange juice or both, whatever works. Okay, next we're gonna add our ice. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a nice stir. And then you're gonna top it with 3 ounces of ginger beer. To garnish, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut a beautiful big citrus wheel like the sun, and I'm gonna add a couple of calendula flowers. Calendula is associated with the sun. It's just really good for, you know, kind of changing luck and bringing good energy and radiance. An optional addition is orange blossom water. If you want to spritz that on top there. Oh, that's so good. These Sunshine Mules are just so perfect to soak in that summer radiancy. No matter what season you're in, really. Sometimes we all need a little bit of that positivity and a nice, cool, refreshing drink that can help inspire that invigoration. I'm gonna have another sip right now. If you make this recipe, if you make your own version, whatever it is, please tag me. I'd love to see what you create. Now, some tips I wanna give you guys. Really, don't be afraid to improvise. Once you finish these recipes, sometimes based off of the ingredients you have access to, it can come out a bit different. So if it's too sour, add a little more honey. If it's a little too sweet, add a little bit more lime. Just add an increment at a time and make it perfect for you. For the vodka, you're gonna wanna make sure you do not over infuse it. The lime can be really powerful if you infuse it for too long, so don't let it sit overnight in case it gets too dark. Substitute things out. Hopefully this recipe shows you how easy it can be to take some of your favorite recipes and infuse them with a little bit of magic, a little bit of intention. It doesn't need to be super complicated. You just need a little bit of mixology knowledge, and I am more than happy to share that with you to help you fill up your cup. I cannot wait to share more recipes with you. One of the magical aspects of the cup and why I make it both cocktail and mocktail versions is because it's really about community sharing, filling our cups, nurturing ourselves, and then being able to also share that with others. So I really hope you join me in the Patreon community space so we can commune over recipes that nurture our body, spirit, and intentions. And I can teach you to make recipes like this. And now if you'd like to pair this with a guided seasonal ritual, we are gonna go ahead and dive into the extra free bonus. Again, free members on Patreon, so worth it, check it out. We're gonna dive into the magical mist recipe, as well as a little bit of a reflection and visualization, so you can really see the way that your drink can become a full ritualistic experience. I've also created printable recipe sheets for both drinks, shopping lists, all that stuff over there as well. For my Patreon members, let's go ahead and move into the ritual editions.